Hi and welcome to my little design session. This is actually my first one I've recorded, so I'm going to be making all sorts of mistakes, trying to talk and think and design all at the same time. Yeah, right, well, first of all, as you can see, I'm in software called Blender. Well, that's its name. And I've got in front of me the Meggcha Suit, which I'm currently designing. As you can see, I've still got the arms to design. Before I go into too much detail of that, I'll just go through what I normally have as my settings in Blender, especially if I'm designing anything for 3D printing. Now, as always, I click multiple times to get to something. I like to have the scale set at 0.001. That just means that when I go to the 3D printing tab and I click on export, it exports to a file and it's nicely scaled for what my printer's slicing software is used to. I also have it in metric and degrees because that's what I'm used to. Now, any other settings there? Nope. Yeah, that's pretty much my sort of basic settings I have there. Because over time that I've been designing over the years, I've kind of got on my own custom. Oops, where's it gone? Go back. There we go. My own custom keyboard settings, and that I won't go into it. But one thing I do recommend if you start getting into using Blender is exploring all the different keyboard shortcuts you can do. Which is why I won't really in this recording mention what keys I'm pressing, because they probably won't be the same as default to what anyone else is using. Right, enough of that rambling. Ooh, I'll change that. What am I doing there? Oh, ignore that, ignore that. Not going to be using that. Right. Yes, right, starting. Now I need to bring up my reference picture, because as I said, I'm going to be doing the arms. I also apologise if I launch the mouse around quite a lot. Right, close those down. Oh yes, that'll be. Oh, wrong one. There's. As always, it puts it really small. Scale that up. Oops. Bring that about there. Change that to 30 centimeters. That's just the scaling. Oops. Yeah, you're gonna have to bear with me because I haven't rehearsed or anything like this or scripted this, so this is gonna be a fair amount of rambling. Right, so there is the rough position there of what I'm going to work on. So if I move into that, and oh, where am I going to put this? I need my 3D cursor. 5 centimeters. There we are. It's up there. Yeah, I've changed also my mouse settings so that right click is no longer position 3D mouse cursor. I use that for multiple selections of objects. Right, now, oops, change its scale to 1 centimeter. There we go. Oh, I'm going to change the viewport shading to solid, as the white just gets very glare in my eyes. Right, delete those two. All I was after is just some vertices to start playing with. Now, there'll be a method to my madness in a moment, because I'm just going to do a simple trace of the side of the arm. Oops. I'll tidy these up in a minute. I'm also not going to that much detail. And it doesn't matter if I get the lines nicely curved, because I can deal with them in a second. Now I will get. I'm just copying those set of coordinates and pasting it to the one at the top. Just adding a vertices between two selected ones. Right. This is just that setting the origin of the object to that position there just means that I can now go across and add a mirror modifier, and I can put it there. Set clipping on, which means that anything which will stick to the mirror plane there. Oh. There was me waving my hand at the screen to demonstrate then, and yeah, that's not going to work. Now, turn clipping off for a second. Will this work? No, I've done it wrong. Blech. Oh, I need that. There we go. Now, how wide is it going to be? That's going to be about fine. I'm being a bit lazy here. I'm just stretching it out to there, and then I'm using the subdivide key just to bring them out a bit. Bringing those there. Now I'm going to use a technique I like to use for just smoothing stuff off. So there. Maybe I should have. Well, I'll use it once there. There we go. Squeak that one slightly up there. Right, so that is that. Now, of course, I could have done this in a better way than that, but never mind. Right, and what I now do is I start to fill it in. Just quick and easy, just There's probably easier ways to do this than what I'm doing it, but yeah. All I want to do is be able to just take those and, as it says in the bottom left, the vertex connect command. So I'm essentially just creating a grid out of all these lines. You'll see why in a moment. Oops. There. It could be tied here, but never mind. Right. If it doesn't turn out how I like, then I'll probably just redo this on another day when I'm not having to speak at the same time as working. Just get rid of that one. Is that there? Just remove doubles in case I've overridden something. No, that's good. Right. Now that I've got that shape, I apply that, and then I can go and use, I've forgotten it, a simple deform. If I put that to bend, which means if I go from above, I can just do it from the side actually. 90. Is that working properly? Yeah. Oh. Turn that off. Right, and go actually rotate Z 90. Then turn it back on again. Right. Okay. I'll have it like that. So that's pretty much ish. I wanted it. Now why is that being slightly awkward? I suppose because right, I'm going to switch on the proportional editing mode. Up the influence a little bit. Yeah, that's got everything, so I can move to there. Yeah. Just position that right. Okay. a copy of that and move that to another layer in case I really mess this up. Apply that. And I suppose Control N, that's just recalculates the normal so that it's facing the right way. Let's see if this works. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Essentially, I don't want these edges to be pulled just yet. So if I select them, hide them, bugger. Select them and then hide them. That way they don't get moved when I adjust anything. Right. Let's see how well I can get this. Okay, that's not quite what I'm wanting, but let's try it this way. There's a little bit of experimenting when it comes to this, so that just looks crap. That's what happens when I don't deselect what I'm working with first. In fact, I'll just select that lot and I can adjust it a little bit in a moment. Right, bring that, oops, wrong one. Then I select that again. And wonderfully, it's all distorted rubbishly. Now, that was just where I've had the center point for where it's going to scale everything. Oops, using all the wrong commands. There we go, that's better. Now, I like to cheat a bit and I use the 3D printing checks to actually, so I can highlight the edges. Then I can go invert my selection. Actually, no. That one. Yeah, I had line selected then. Where is it doing that? Select, change the vertices, then invert. Right, let's see what happens now when I use the smoothing tool. That's a bit better. Okay, right. Oh, I don't like that. What are you doing? Scale Y, bring that in a little bit. Right. Yeah, I can adjust that a bit later. It's the same for the top as well. Right. How's that looking from the side? So it's a bit more fluted, or whatever the right word is there, but that's okay for now. I think what I'll do for this recording session is just finish off this arm cowling. Otherwise this recording will get a bit too long. I use a solidify modifier. Looks a bit weird at the moment, but I can say I want the armour to be 2.5 millimeters thick. And there I've got that shaped. Set it to even thickness, high quality normals. What's that do? Oh, it does that. Cool. Just switch to wireframe mode. Gonna see how on the inside it's done it. Okay, and again, make a copy, put it to a different layer. Something I haven't done yet as well, which is save. Always save. Apply that. And I've got a nice armour cowling, roughly in the shape that I wanted ish. So yeah, and before I do anything else with it, I'll do a quick check to see if it has any errors. Nope, just overhangs, which is over there, which don't really matter. And now for fun of it, I shall select that one, set the cursor to it, change its transformation. Oh, sorry, it's the center point to there, because then I can mirror it. Not there. There. Now, of course, that looks a bit weird, doesn't it? Come on. In you go. And there's one thing, because I'm going to be later on joining these to the rest of the body using Boolean modifiers, which just allows me to merge two meshes together. That bit there is what's termed a mesh. If you've, like I have, assigned material colours to different parts of the body, as you can see here, I've got the three main ones I use there on this model, and on this they're not there yet. If you do a Boolean operation and you've only got one material set, it'll kind of just pick whatever the first material in the list there would be. So if I made that coloured plating dark in the first one, come on, missed, there we go, and I added it to that mesh, it would pick up the plating colour and alter the colour, and I'd have to go around and click in all the different parts of it to change its colour. It's something you find out if you're doing stuff. It sounds like being picky, but it saves a lot of time if you do want to get it right. So I've added the materials in there, even though this shape doesn't use it. And there I've got arms. Right, I'll bring them forward a bit. Yes, doing micromillimeter adjustments, yes, just what I need on a recording. Right, there we go. Get rid of the pictures. And there we go, and I can adjust them as needed later on. But that is the armour cowls. Arm cowl. I shall learn to speak properly one day. Yes, so that's that. If I bring up the scenery, oh, where's it gone? Oh yes, I have multiple layers for different things. So there's the room, different light sources. That's the mirror, which you haven't really seen, but never mind. But yeah, so if I click on the play button, that whizzes round. Oops, wrong one. Click. There we go. Yay. Right, and that's enough from me. And I'll stop that before I go. Right, oh, wrong place. Never mind. Right, and yes, hopefully my next design session will be a bit more sensible. So if you've lasted this long, thank you for watching, and goodbye.